Steve Basic Architect. Yeah, welcome back. So, nice looking house. It's what I would call an inner city lot. It's in Metro Boston. Yeah, we did another DER. Maybe you remember a little while back, I did one and I talked about DER, which is Deep Energy Retrofit. Right? Basically a new siding and insulation system on steroids, let's say. And this one here is actually, this one got pumped up, if you know what I mean. This is, when I say off the wall, literally, this idea was off the wall, but it was pretty successful. So I want to share it with you. This is actually the end photo. So let's dive into what we did here. So the homeowner wanted to make it more energy efficient and turn the house into zero energy. Well, before we turn things into a zero energy, we want to make sure that we have a really good foundation of a house that is energy efficient, healthy, has good air quality, it's comfortable, it's durable, all of these things. Now, in the case of this house, the homeowner, who's actually a builder, friend of mine, he didn't want to tear apart anything on the inside. It did have some really nice trim work and crown moldings and stuff, so it wasn't ready for a whole house remodel. The inside was actually quite nice, and he didn't want to tear that apart. So he was talking about, is there a way where we can go on the outside of the building and insulate it and bring it up to a level where, in this case here, I bet you we reduced the energy bill by, I don't know, I would say 70, 75%, because we also got not only good levels of insulation, but we got an air tightness that, yeah, was certainly passive house standard worthy. And so what are you looking at here? Well, we left all of the siding intact. You can see it in there, right? But what we did was we did a 2x2 frame on the outside, and then we attached it with screws. And he ran a bunch of strings and got it all nice and plumb and all of that good stuff. And these are simply screwed through the system, right, into the stud frame behind. Now, we actually did, when we applied for the building permit on this, the building inspector wanted us to prove that we were okay here with the amount of screws. And I want to say these were something like 32 inches on center. And so the structural engineer did some quick calculations, and come to find out, we were probably okay to go to about 60 inches plus on center on what we were actually holding up in the siding there. But 32 inches just gave us the ability to get a straighter wall and system. And, you know, nowadays there's systems out that, you know, are pretty conducive to this type of rain screen type system. But notice, and we're going to do a separate video, but we have new windows, but they're outside, and you can see they're outside of the original plane, but they're in the plane of the new wall here. So basically, we just went up the house and furred it out. And we furred it out, if we zoomed in on this, these are XPS blocks. They're insulation. So that whole frame is thermally broken on the outside. And I think actually, yeah, here you can see a really good shot of it, right? They're thermally broken. And this is screwed all the way through that system there. And in some cases, we just put some screws in there to keep these from going wonky there, and again, wonky there. So we just ran those screws through there and tied them into the wall, plumbed this up. But you can see it's all thermally broken, and you can see we opened it at the band joist area because we are going to spray foam that, but the spray foam is also going to go in and it's going to seal our rim joist area on this house. And there you have it. So the guys came and we basically just shot over all of the existing siding, right? The closed cell foam that we used is hydrophobic. Water doesn't pass through it, and it's air permeable, or air impermeable, I should say, right? So it makes for a decent air tightness. Now I know some people out there, oh, Steve, it's going to crack and it's going to have all kinds of voids and this and that, but we probably took our blower door, like I said, from 25 ACH 50 down to passive house levels in doing this. So even if it cracked and added 10%, we're under 1.0, which is, 1/30th of where we started with this house. So it's, to me, it's about, what is the math at the finish line? And how did we do there? But you could see they just basically came by and they sprayed the whole thing. And then we simply reclad it. Now, when they sprayed this, right, notice this stuff there's a little bit of an airspace here, right? And we left that. If water did get in here, it would just trickle down. It would run down the wall, or it would stay here and dry out because it is a full rain screen vent. We didn't bring that foam out to the furring strip and plane it out here. We actually held it back a little so that we can get some air in there. But I think we still were able to get somewhere like on the order of, 3.5, 4 inches of that stuff. So we're at our 25-ish on this wall. And then, like I said, we did the siding, they trimmed out the windows, and these are those second windows. The only real evidence you have is you can see there's a deeper shelf here where, of course, our system drains, and then it can drip out from the bottom there. But looking at this house, you would never know what is happening inside that wall system. But from a building science perspective, we have a fully integrated drainable and dryable rain screen. We have an R25 plus thermal sweater on the whole house except for the windows. And where the windows are, we have the original single glazed that then have double glazed. I call them double glazed storm, but they're new construction windows on the outside. So we, in a roundabout way, have a triple glazed window with a little airspace in between those windows. So we've turned it into a very, very efficient but highly durable system. There, see, and you can see here on the bottom, it's certainly not the best picture, but there is that drain space, right? There's our stone foundation. This is our soffit. This is that water table that we're seeing. And then this is the space where not only are we draining water down, but we're inducing air into that system to dry it out there. So I think that's the last one on this. And then here, couldn't really get a good shot, but this is on the other side. You can see we installed our solar panels and we took the house to 0 energy. And as well as we replaced all the combustible combustion appliances inside with electric heat pumps and induction cooktop. So the health quality, air quality on the inside has also improved, as well as they now have air conditioning, and the energy efficiency has drastically improved. And like I said, the durability of having that rain screen, drain and dry system, a kind of site configured triple glazed window system there. Yeah, we got a little bit of everything there. And like I said, if I go back to the first photo here, where we started it all. Right? You would never know the difference. I mean, it looks nice and clean, like it got a nice facelift and remodeling job, but the only thing that is different is, you know, some of these overhangs have tightened up a little because we padded out that wall and literally wrapped a sweater around the house. So we put a jacket on it. What do you do when you get cold? What do you do when you walk out of the house in February in New England? You go get a jacket, you put it on. Why does it work? Because it's continuity of that jacket is the key, right? It's uninterrupted. It's a blanket around you, a sweater around you, a jacket, however you want to, you know, whatever cliche you want to use, you have a thermal enclosure around you. And that's all we did to this house. We put on a very good thermal enclosure that had a very high success in durability, in a drain and dry rain screen there too. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed that. We'll shoot a second video in complement to this one, where we'll talk a little bit more in detail about the actual windows and how we did that. So anyways, you know it. Until next time, I'm Steve Basic Architect. Long live our buildings.